What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping first. I've got my Black Friday sale, which continues on until the 30th, which is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow at midnight. So you can get all 7 of my courses for $129. That's the Black Friday special. Or you can buy each individual one for just $49. You can go to rickbeato.com. So I've been thinking about this a lot, that, I was, it's interesting. I read a Mr. Beast post the other day. You're probably thinking, like, why are you reading Mr. Beast post? I read a post on I don't know why I saw it on X, but the few times that I actually go on the internet and look at stuff, I saw a thing where he writes, after some reflection, I want to say that I think some of our newer YouTube videos haven't been as good as I wanted. I apologize. Your boy's going to go into ultra grind mode and make the greatest content of my life in 2026. I was like, why is he writing that? And he would never get on YouTube and make a video about it, which you really should. Like, why go on a different platform and talk about what you want to do on your YouTube channel? It's like, this is why you come on here, is to do this. And over the last couple of years, I've really focused my channel into the direction of doing interviews and stuff like that. And so much of my content has been that. And I'm probably sitting on about, I'd say 15 to 18 different videos. They're not all interviews, but a lot of them are. And at this point, I have interviewed almost everybody that I want to. And the people that I still have left, the Paul McCartneys, Jimmy Page, Herbie Hancock, Stevie Wonder, Pete Townsend, Ringo, Keith Richards, these people, they're either going to happen or they're not. It's very difficult to do that. I turn on, I see something on the post with stuff on network TV that gets people like Robert Plant. I just saw on a network TV thing. I saw James Hetfield. And they're just these kind of short video hits, and they have teams of people that set these things up here. I've got me and the 3 people that go and do these trips and everything. And frankly, I don't want to travel for these anymore. It's just, and it's. The amount of work that it takes to do these things, to try and get these big artists like that and get it set up, it's just, I don't want to field things from, what am I trying to say here? I get constant emails from publicists about stuff, pitching me things, and I don't want to be part of a press run that somebody's doing. I don't do that. A press run that people are doing when they have some new release out, because I talk about things that I want to talk about, people's careers. I don't want to talk about some new record that somebody put out. I want to ask them questions, things that I'm interested in. The other thing is that I want to continue to learn on my channel. I feel like I've always made content where I learn things or I'm improving myself as a musician by making the videos. I'm practicing to make the videos, stuff like that. I want to make more content about song breakdowns. Not what makes the song great, but just song breakdowns. I want to make more production videos. Maybe invite some engineers in like that to work on things and on some projects. I've got my old band. I've been making a record for the last probably 4 months or so. I've been working on it a lot, like pretty much all of my spare time I've been doing that. And, you know, I'll do the interviews that come up here at the studio for people that want to come here and do that. But as a focus for the channel for next year, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to really limit the amount of interviews that I do. Have I interviewed Andy Wallace? I see that in the comments. Yes, I've interviewed Andy Wallace. You know, I used to make videos on film scoring. I used to make videos on music theory. I want to go back and do those kind of things, like the early videos that I did on this channel. And I'd love to get ideas from you guys onto what kind of content you'd like to see. And I just don't want to see people write a bunch of things on people that I should interview, like people are doing right now in here. Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee, yes, that interview I would love to do. Like I said, there's a group of people that I still haven't interviewed that I would love to do. And I hopefully will do those. Somebody says, how's my health? My health is great. I had my heart surgery a year and a half ago now. I'm in as good a shape as I've ever been. And so my health is great. You know, it's just like, I just don't want to feel like, oh my God, I got to get in an airplane for the videos that I've done. I got to fly somewhere and do this, and then I'm gone for 3 days. And when I'm gone, I can't get anything done and make the kind of content where of the things that I like doing, right? It's not that I don't like to interview people. It's great. But there's just been too much. Way too much of it. I go back and look at the stages of my channel. I do this about every few months or so. Or when I get to a point where it's like, I don't want to do this. And I'm having a great time when I'm working on stuff here that is not related to that. When I'm working on when I'm making videos on topics that are just, you know, like my regular videos. The other thing is that I made too many of these AI videos. I'm sick of this stuff now. I'll do the occasional one, but I don't want to bore people with that stuff because I've said about as much as I want to say about it. So there we go. That's kind of somebody's writing AI music reviews. That's something I'm not going to be doing, probably. I would say that's definitely not in the cards. So that's that's kind of what I'm thinking about now. When I saw Mr. Beast's thing, I think his thing is he's reacting to videos that don't get as many views. He'd had a number of them that don't get. I went back and looked at his stuff. It's like, oh, well, why is he saying this? And I go and look at his things. He has some videos that are under 100 million views. I don't watch Mr. Beast's channel, but but I'll check in to see kind of the OGs of YouTube and see what kind of things people are watching, if people are still watching those channels. Now, that being said, this month I had the most views in the last 30 days ever on my channel. I had 56 million views in the past 30 days. And that's a lot of views. Somebody wrote to me on Twitter, or whatever X is called, and was, he was talking about my lighting in this. He's a guy in the YouTube growth space. He's a YouTuber. Great guy. He was telling me about that these videos look different than my other ones. I'm like, yeah, I'm using my webcam. I've been using it for about the last 4 years. And I always use it for my live streams because it's easier to set up. I don't have anyone here helping me out or anything. But to put it in perspective, let me see here. I had 56 million views. Not that that means anything, but I think the last 30 days, Joe Rogan on his channel, 40 million. 56 million on mine, 40 million on his. Not that I'm trying to compare anything here, but I'm just for perspective. And so it's not a matter of I don't know, I can't even look it up. It's like everything's going great with the channel. So it's really just when I come in here, I want to be I don't want to feel like, oh my God, I have a 3-hour video to edit. You know, it's you know, when you have, like I said, I think I have about 15 to 18. I just came back from Europe and I did 8 videos there. And some of them, two of them are 3 hours long. And it's just, man, it just takes forever to go through this stuff. Somebody's like, hire an editor. I have 3 editors. It just, I have 3 editors. I have Tom and John and Mike. But, you know, just to go through a 3-hour video and do the camera switches, right? And when the different people are talking, it takes time, right? And you have to sync up all the audio. You have to sync up all the, you got to put in the songs when people are talking. Camera switches are not mostly automated. Somebody wrote that, aren't they automated? You know, the platform that actually does it, you don't have it on Final Cut Pro, but you can do it on DaVinci. But I've used it a couple times, and you have to go back in and you have to fix all the edits anyway. So it's just like, oh my God. Anyways, it'd be much more fun to. It's much more fun to make videos. Now, somebody asked me about don't travel anymore. We don't mind. And I'm not tired, and I don't need a sabbatical. I'm reading the comments here. Let's see here. It's so annoying that it's a lot of work. It's not. Somebody's asking about my kick drum video that I had up. I took down the kick drum video because I felt like it wasn't that I didn't feel it was good enough, that it didn't have a point to it, because it was actually a much longer video that I ended up cutting out all this stuff, and then by the time I edited it out, the video didn't make sense. And then I watched it and I was like, this does not make sense. This video does not make sense. So so I took it down. I could actually make the video. The thing I should have done is I should have just remade it from scratch, but it was but I was like, I'm going to take this down. It's I tried to do too many things in it, and then it was just kind of a mess. So I mean, I've done that a million times where I take videos down that I don't think are you know, quite on point. it would be cool if I made a video about genres nobody knows about. Well, if nobody knows about them, I'm not sure what that means. The kick drum video had value, doesn't have to be perfect. Well, it's got to be, to me, it didn't have the value. It didn't have what I thought it should have. It was kind of a video in search of a point. So, hi, Rick. Love your YouTube channel. Can't wait for your Flea interview to come out. Is there a way to talk to Steve Lukather and Greg Bissonette to see if I can get a Ringo interview? Oh my God, I've talked to Greg and Greg and Luke about that a million times. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. These people like that, like McCartney. Okay, so I know Paul's publicist. And because he's a publicist for another person, a couple people that I've interviewed already. So I've known him for years. And Paul tours all the time. And it's just really difficult to get on these people's schedule. You know, when McCartney was here in Atlanta, when he was on tour, I was in London doing it. So there you go. Rick, when is the John Mayer interview? I have no idea. Don't know. Guthrie Govan interview? Don't know when that is. But everybody's going to keep asking me all this stuff. I've talked to all of them about, you know, over the last few years, and, you know, Slash probably is not going to happen. It's, that's probably not going to happen. I'd love to interview Slash, but his people have managers, they've got publicists, and it's almost impossible to get on, you know. I've tried to get an interview with Herbie Hancock many times. Can't figure out how to do it. I've reached out to people that work for him and stuff, and just, you know, can't get anywhere with it. And I don't reach out to people. I mean, I know plenty of people that know him, but I don't want to do that. There's better ways to go through channels of people that work for them. That's what they do. And anyways, so it comes to a point where it's like, okay, well, it's not going to happen, and that's it. So, you know, the Jimmy Page interview, probably never going to happen. Paul McCartney, probably never going to happen. And that's okay. What's up with Gen Z's strange ownership over Sleep Token? They've been around for years. Remember listening to them way back in 2016. Way back? Man. Way back. That's not very long. 2016. Grunge documentary still in your mind. Oh my God. See, that would be great. That was one of those ideas that kind of got abandoned. That I wanted to do a grunge documentary, but I don't even have an interview with Dave Grohl. So how am I going to do a grunge documentary? That was fun when I was doing that stuff. You know, when I got to when I interviewed Matt Cameron and Chris Novoselic and Kim from Soundgarden and Jack Endino. Oh my God, that was amazing. When I think back to those, that was so cool. Walking around Seattle doing those. Oh God, that was incredible. Those were so fun, and I really wanted to do that grunge documentary. Kind of like grunge 30 years later. Now it's like 35 years later, pretty much. Keep the faith. David Gilmour finally happened. David Gilmour did happen twice. But I was doing a live stream here, And I mentioned about Glyn Johns, and someone watching got in touch with him. One of the greatest producers and engineers of all time, legend. And I got to interview him when I was over in the UK, and it was amazing. It was so fun. And that just happened from me talking about this. Somebody says that somebody said that Hetfield in depth about his playing. That would be incredible. Now, it was interesting. I watched the James Hetfield thing that they did on CBS, and the guy asked questions that I would never ask that were good questions, that were really good questions. They're the kind of questions a journalist asks. And I just don't do, I don't do interviews like that. I talk about the songs, the playing, whatever. You guys know about what I talk about. Let's see here. What's up with Stevie Wonder? Exactly. Let's see here. You'd rather have me interview them than a journalist. Steps of Life. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's, I'm trying to think of the if I look back to the videos that I had early in my channel, I made a lot of music theory videos, a lot of teaching videos. I did whiteboard videos. I did videos on recording engineering. I did videos on all types of breakdowns. Obviously, I did the song breakdowns. I did the top 20 countdown videos, top 20 acoustic guitar intros, top 20 electric guitar intros. I did drum videos, all this kind of stuff. I want to get back to doing those kind of things. It was, to me, that was those kind of things. The whiteboard videos, the guitar videos. It's funny, I keep seeing things in the comments section like Hans Zimmer. Well, I interviewed Hans Zimmer. Like I've seen probably about 5 people in the comments section that of people that I've already interviewed, that people in the comments section have no idea that I already did that. So that's the thing, is that it's these things are a lot of them are out there, and people don't even realize that they're on my channel. Man, this is moving so quickly. Alex Van Halen is another one. I see him coming up there that I would love to do. Love to interview Alex. So I'm not going to stop doing interviews, but I'm going to really slow it down. You're not going to see nearly as many of these as you saw in the past probably 2 years. But this past year, I did too many of them. And I enjoyed all the ones that I did. But, the fact that I just released a video of someone that I interviewed last February, and I just released it. It was just something that took forever to edit, and that's it. So I don't want to have stuff sitting around that is unfinished, or that is not out because it's unfinished. And now I have, like I said, about 18 different videos that are like that. So until I get through that, I'm not going to I'm going to really slow down on it. So there you go. Quit chasing views and get back to it. Quit chasing views. You don't chase views. There's no chasing views. Videos get views or they don't get views. There's nothing about chasing anything. Dave, I'm very thankful for you and all you do. Glad you're well after surgery. Don't know about your diet. Want to make 2 non-music suggestions. I know those channels. Let's see. Please make a video on how to properly set up a kick drum pedal. Believe it or not, cannot find it on YouTube. There's actually very little about those kind of topics that on YouTube. It's amazing. You know, you'd think that some things are that there's just tons of videos on things. Oh my God, there are so many music topics that there are very few videos on, and it's honestly shocking. Which I think would be fascinating to do. And those are the things I want to do. I want to try and fill in some of the voids. I want to fill in the voids of some things that I'm interested in where there's very little content on too. Somebody's like 18 videos because you don't have the time. Yes, that's why. And they're videos. I have videos from July that are not done yet. That's it. I mean, and I don't want to have stuff stacking up because in my mind, I like to do the stuff right after I've done them. I like to edit it when the conversation's fresh in my mind, so I remember what was said, and it makes it really easy because occasionally I will move things around. Sometimes I'll ask someone a question, and then they'll talk for a few minutes about something not related, and then they'll answer the question. So sometimes, occasionally, not always, but sometimes I'll take that and I'll move it back to where I asked them the question. And then the rest of it fits perfectly when they're talking about a different topic after that, and flows into the next kind of idea and stuff like that. But when you're doing it, when months have gone by, then, and especially when there's playing involved, you know, occasionally occasionally I'll cut something out of a video to use later on, use as a short or something that I think is works on its own, or something maybe for the second channel that works on its own, and I'll do that. So that's that's another thing that's that when you're when something's fresh in your mind, it's easier to do. Obviously, otherwise you watch it and you're like, oh my God, I forgot I even did this. There's honestly things that I couldn't tell you that all the different videos that I've done that are still unfinished and not put out yet, that are some amazing ones too. It's just, just haven't got to them yet. So, we need a saturation masterclass. Now, you see, that's the kind of thing that I would love to do. I did this compression video early on, an EQ video that were whiteboard videos on my channel way back. Those were so fun to do. I'd love to do updated videos on those things. People keep asking about Tom Schultz in here. That's never going to happen. Never going to happen. I've reached out to him 100 times. And and I will not reach out to him again. It's just at a certain point, it's just a waste of time. I seem badly burned out. I'm not burned out at all. What would you do? How would you seem badly burned out? Do I have to? I joined a new gym this past week, and they always have to sell you on the gym, and they always ask you the same questions. So this girl, she's probably early 20s or so. She's like, so why do you want to join, what are your fitness goals and stuff like that? I was like, my fitness goals are to live for another 30 years or so. That's my fitness goals. Like, why do you want to join a gym? I unjoined the other gym. I quit the other gym because people don't rack the weights. And so that's why. But it's funny, right? Why do you do this? So that's really kind of where that's what I'm thinking about, and I would love to have I'd love to make more videos about things that are in my courses, right? Ear training, music theory, guitar stuff. If you look at my courses, right? I've got my 7 courses on sale until tomorrow night at midnight, right? So what are my courses about? These are the types of videos that these are the types of things that I want to make videos on, and I'll tell you what they are here. So I've got my music theory, Beato book interactive, my ear training method. So I want to do ear training videos. Scale matrix, that's a scale course, guitar scale course. Quick Lessons Pros is more of like an intermediate guitar course. Then the Arpeggio Masterclass, that kind of goes with the scale matrix. It is what it says it is. It's about arpeggios. Music theory for songwriters. Not only do I want to make videos on that, but go back to doing more song breakdowns and stuff, and production breakdowns. And obviously the beginner guitar courses in there too. All 7 of those, $129. But more recording videos, more production videos. I want to bring people in here. I had a producer in here who's like, why don't I come back down and let's set up your drums and we'll record them. He's a great engineer, amazing engineer. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea for a video. I want to do more stuff like that. So that's it, pretty much. That's it. If people want to leave comments in the after the video, in the down below, I'd really appreciate it. Love to know what people think. Don't just list a bunch of people that are that you'd like to see me interview, but what other types of content would you like to see, or a return to things that I used to do? More metal production. There we go. Trolls. There you go. Who reads the comments? I read the comments. Saturation masterclass. I like that. More bass videos. Great. I like it. More Frank Gambale. I got Frank. Now, Frank, I am going to re-interview where I'm not just throwing my camera up. I'm going to do a proper interview with Frank. I already have it. I know when it's going to happen, when Frank's going to be over here touring. We've already talked about it. So, This is great. This gives me a lot of ideas to see what people's interest is. I want to talk about more of music that I really like. I keep seeing people write "Use Your Wong" in the comments. It's probably the same person writing it all over. I would love to interview her. So that's it. You guys are amazing. You can get all 7 of my courses on sale. Go to rickbeato.com, $129. That's the Black Friday sale ends tomorrow night at midnight. Hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend. You guys are awesome. I will catch up with you soon. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later. Take care.